Here we go, folks. We are live here, or something like that, live to tape. It is Pro Wrestling Planet Podcast. It is September 7th, 2022. It is your excellent friend, The Brand. It's Big Vito T. It's Wednesday night, and...
You know what that means.
I had that somewhat memorized, so that was nice.
That was good.
That was off the cuff, my man.
I liked it.
Big Vito T, my man. You know, me and you, we cover these Dynamite shows every week.
Yeah,
pretty much every week.
Yeah, and, we try.
And bro, this week has just been a whirlwind. You know, the last time I left you, we were going into this all-out show.
We made our predictions.
The results of that show almost just kind of seem secondary because now we have...
I don't even remember what happened.
Now we have a great reset.
I've been Twittering since Sunday night, like my fingers are going numb. So I don't even remember who won on the pay-per-view. I can't tell you half the matches.
I'm not sure.
Because I've been on Twitter nonstop since Sunday night because of that damn scrum.
Not sure who was right or wrong.
No, I can think for a second, maybe come up with half the matches, but honestly, I don't think I can tell you
the most noteworthy
of the matches.
The most noteworthy thing, of course, CM Punk wins the title. Just to sum it up, CM Punk wins the title Sunday night, goes on to the media scrum after the show, proceeds to verbally berate seemingly the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, a whole list of folks there.
And Colt Cabana.
Just kind of blast co-workers, just basically, the videos made the rounds. I'm sure if you haven't seen it, look it up.
Then there's another part that people are looking past. He talks about young wrestlers, calls them children and pricks and all this stuff. He basically goes against what he was saying when he first came in. His first promo was completely X'd out by this scrum. It was awful.
There's some very interesting, and Vito, we went back and forth.
He looked and sounded like an angry drunk, even though I know he doesn't drink.
Yeah, no, that's a good take on it. It was very, it was very interesting.
It was awful,
to say the least. So he goes on this tirade, and then reportedly, of course, none of us have seen this, but the reports, all over the internet, confirmed by, a few different sources, to be believed. There was an altercation afterwards. We've heard all kinds of different versions of the story. Basically, from what I get, the Bucks and Kenny and company went and pounded on Punk's door. He didn't answer. Nick Jackson kicked it down, supposedly.
Super kicked it down.
Yeah. And then a skirmish breaks loose. Punk was in there with Ace Steel's wife, and apparently Punk's dog, Larry. Hashtag save Larry.
Hashtag save Larry. AEW serious about animal
getting in the
cruelty.
middle of all this.
Yeah.
But
of course, it's all speculation. We don't know who is involved or what exactly went down. There was biting, there was chair throwing.
That's the report. Those are the reports making the rounds. And Vito, you and I have went back and forth since this has happened. I was on the side that it was all at work. Then
I was saying it was heavy shoot.
Right. And then, I kind of started to think, maybe, just kind of the way I heard Meltzer talk about it on Wrestling Observer. It just didn't kind of seem like it was something that, he would, or maybe he's getting worked as well. I don't know. Now I'm kind of back on the train that it's a work, but, I don't know. This is a lot of undoing to do. Apparently there's also an injury, though, to CM Punk. to give you some sort of an update. We don't really know exactly because we weren't really told, and it's all just reports.
I read something that he hurt himself on the tope that he did when he got his. It looked like he hit the middle rope on one of the topes at the pay-per-view.
Makes sense, right? So
whatever.
So yeah, so there's an injury report. Where Dave Meltzer's reporting that everybody involved in this thing has been suspended at this point.
I've heard it go as deep as Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa.
Even Cutler, Nakazawa, and Christopher Daniels even somehow I guess was involved.
Daniels too. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. Makes sense. Yeah, he's part of that crew as well.
Yeah.
Vito, before we get into how Dynamite dealt with all this, any more thoughts on just kind of like, how this whole situation played out? What side are you on? Are you still thinking this is legit? And just kind of what are your overall thoughts about it?
I think everything Punk said was completely unprofessional, and that was not the time or place to say it. I think he sounded, like I said, like an angry drunk, and I know he doesn't drink, so it was just awful. I've never seen CM Punk act like that, and it was just uncomfortable. I've said this before that CM Punk's one of my favorites. I got like a type shrine to him in my living room. But I'm not a fan. That wasn't cool.
It's very odd if it's not something that they were trying to work, kind of comments that you would make. And this is all strange to me on a lot of levels. The comments themselves. You have the fact, like you were saying, he's completely reversed his tone from when he first came into the company. Even before coming into the company, I saw someone bring up a tweet that Punk did long before he signed with the company. When someone asked him who he would want to work with, that's always been his answer. It's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Hangman Adam Page. He's always been a fan of Hangman Adam Page.
So that's why I'm like having trouble buying. You know what I mean? Like that's the number one thing that I'm having trouble buying about all this. So we'll kind of see how it shakes out. It's not a storyline for now. Doesn't mean they can't make it a storyline later on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, everything's cool. And then they end up like, referencing it, or whatever in a promo or something down the road, but we'll see. Kind of shakes out. So I mean, yeah, it's either way, it's very interesting.
Well, like I said, I was twittering from Sunday to Wednesday, wondering what was going to happen. We heard suspensions, we heard firings, we heard lots of different things. So we were wondering what was going to happen going into Dynamite. So.
Well, it got everyone talking. And yeah, so we basically opened the show with a statement from Tony Khan, which, is not a common thing. I don't think he's ever really done anything like this on AEW TV.
He's been on Dynamite TV like less than 5 times.
Okay.
In 3 years of being on TV, I think they're at 3 years, right? Yeah, they're at 3 years now.
Right.
In 3 years of being on TV, he's maybe been on there less than 5 times.
Well, I guess this is as important a time as any to have the figurehead. Everybody knows who's pulling the strings anyway, at least for the most part, if you're going to do any kind of research at all. So,
yeah.
But, he doesn't make himself a regular character, but for something like this,
he said he never would.
Right. For something like this, though, you gotta come on TV, and he says virtually nothing about anything. Just says, I've had to strip the title and the trios titles, and this is what we're gonna do.
He just said vacate. He didn't say strip.
Okay.
The verbiage is important.
Okay.
He said, "I'm vacating the heavyweight title and the trios title, and he made it clear that the world heavyweight title was the what word did he use? Do you have it there? The words he used for the title. The most important title in combat sports, I think, is the words he used.
Okay, I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah. The AEW world title is the most prestigious, or hold on, I gotta find it. I have it somewhere here, right? Let's see here. It doesn't say on here, but it said something like the most prestigious or greatest world title in all of combat sports, or something like that. So, vacating both the world and trios. So that means all the people who were champions in the fight are now not champions.
Well, you got to sell the situation.
Yeah.
You know. But
and he did not say interim.
Right. It's but hey, like we were talking about last week, it's finally Vacant's chance, dude.
Vacant, yeah, Vacant.
Vacant finally has an AEW title run, so congratulations. And he's the trios champion at the same time.
Oh, Vacant triplets.
Well, he was temporarily.
Oh, that was a short reign.
Very, very, very short. But yeah, no, speaking of prestigious, I mean, I was just going to ask you, do you think that, okay, so they vacated the titles, so now we have this timeline, right, where like Punk won it from Page, he pretty much immediately has to give it up.
3 days.
Right. Moxley wins it, and then loses it back to Punk, eventually, a couple months later. Yeah. And now Punk has to forfeit it again.
3 days.
Another 3-day title reign.
He's got, and it's only 3 days because AEW doesn't run their shows on Mondays.
Right, yeah. Or else it would be just less than 24 hours, right? Yeah.
He'd have a 2-day run over 2 runs. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
what a poor sap.
Do you think this has hurt the image of the championship at all?
The championship or the champion? Because this hurts CM Punk's image bad. But the championship, no.
It is not the greatest look.
I've never thought that I've never been the one to say that, hey, the championship doesn't look good right now. I know some people will say, hey, you're doing the title wrong, but I think circumstances happen, and shit happens.
Right.
And I think that what they made, it's a good little deal. I mean, I can see where it's going, but what they made is a good little deal.
That's something that's in the corner of this, like, not feeling work, is like weird stuff like this. It's like, okay, well, why would you plan for Punk to just like look so ridiculous and immediately cough up the title and,
and Mox misses vacation.
But my other question is like, and I pitched my idea, before of like kind of how this would go. And maybe that doesn't happen now or ever or down the road or, gosh, I mean, I don't even know. But at this point, do you see him coming back? I mean, he's got to, right? I mean, everyone can talk and cool this out, right?
He's got like a 4-year deal.
4 years, really?
I think so.
I thought it was just a 2-year.
I can't be 100% on that, but he might be a year into that 4 years. But I think he signed 4 years.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'll have to look that up. But
if this is true, it's going to be a long time to deal with stuff like this because it might kind of just keep happening, but. Also, like I told you, and this is the last thing I'll say before we move on, is that this this makes Punk Punk, you know, is doing stuff like this. And I mean, yeah, I think it might kind of hurt his image to some folks, like a little bit, but this is like, you know, this is kind of like Ring of Honor Punk, you know, kind of in a way. He gets to be unhinged. And I don't know. We'll see how it all happens.
It doesn't work for the old man. It worked for the young guy. You know, it doesn't work for the old grizzled old man.
True.
The gimmick. If it's a gimmick, it doesn't work for him at this age.
I know
it's
okay.
I guess that's messed up to say.
No, I respect that take. I think that's totally fair.
Know? I guess that's ageist to say.
He should just be the goodwill ambassador at this point. He doesn't need to be,
you know. The angry drunk does not fit him.
Well,
not his gimmick.
So here we go. So we have a tournament set up. Tournament of Champions. We're going to have a new champion in 2 weeks. 2 week. I turned into Pat Patterson there for a second. So, one more thing I wanted to ask is, so if you were Tony Khan also, like, all right, so I asked you about CM Punk. When it comes to the Elite and Kenny and the Bucks, would you just like buy them out at this point? Do they have any kind of actual financial stake in the company, or can Tony just like remove their roles? What do you know what the deal is with that?
I don't know about financial stake. I think he's all financial. I think he's I think he's the man. I think
so. He just gave them those jobs. He can take it away, right?
Yeah.
I mean, make them workers. Don't make them the EVPs anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to be. That's like what
they're probably they got contracts, of course. You know, but,
right. Well, buy out that EVP contract and say, I only want you as a performer.
Yeah.
If this is a real thing, it's not a good idea because, you know, whatever happened, we don't really know, but a lot of people assume that some kind of issue between them pushed Cody out, and now this. So cut your losses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a good idea to have the talent also be in the office, you know, unless you're...
Ask Kevin Nash that.
Unless you're the game, brother. No. So, anyway, the show opens up with the MJF promo. We are talking about Dynamite 9/7/2022, by the way, in case you forgot. Yeah. There's just so much fallout to cover.
You're with Big VOT in the brand. This is what we do.
We had to get you all up to speed, you know, in case you missed any of it, and give our takes. Now, starts with the NJF promo. This was awesome. This
was something, man.
He acts face, turns heel again. But very,
this is weird.
Interesting verbiage. It's like he almost came out and gave like the rally promo, you know, that like the fans needed to hear.
Yeah.
As, you know, and then he reverted back to MJF. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's the notes I was writing. I said he came out in the Bills jersey and he's in Buffalo calling himself the devil, you know, which I was cool about, you know. And then because he's from New Jersey?
No, he's from Long Island.
Long Island. Okay, Long Island. And so I was like, you know, maybe he's cool with Buffalo because, you know, New York, Long Island, it's somewhere up there, you know, right?
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yeah. Like, all right.
So
well,
I was like, so he's over in Buffalo. He's cool with New York, Long Island. Cool, you know?
Right.
So I was like, I wrote down here, I wonder how he'll be away from New York. And then Moxley comes down and says, you're not being legit.
Right.
And he goes, you don't think I'm being legit? Boom, heel flip. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
Like, so if Moxley never came down, he was just going to walk on out not being a heel turn MJF, or we needed Mox to come down to piss MJ off to make him be an asshole to all of Buffalo.
Maybe.
That was just my take on it.
Maybe. I think it was a hidden message. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's a few of these in this show. I'll get to it as well as we go on. I think there was some very interesting Tony Khan hidden messages if we want to get
Or do you think he was just trying it out?
I think that was part of it.
You think he was just trying out how to be the dickhead MJF face character? Because he was still flipping people off,
right,
saying, "Oh, you're a fatty." Oh, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. You're cool. I dug it.
It's a nice way to test the waters for sure, just to see like, you know, how it would work and if it would work.
Yeah.
But I also think it was a hidden message. You know, it was the rally cry promo. It's very interesting person to come out and do that promo. You know what I mean? Like, but in a way, it kind of had to be him, because, you know, he's the guy that kind of, because of all this, that naturally people I think are going to care the most about, you know, going forward, honestly, at least myself. But so yeah, Mox interrupts him. MJF reverts back to himself. You know, they act like they're going to fight, but, you know, of course, he cowards out of it. I thought Stokely and company were going to hit the ring, but that did not happen.
Me too. That's what I thought when the camera panned in on Mox. I thought they were going to jump him from behind.
Right, yeah.
MJF said some things, man.
A lot of good stuff. Well, that's why I'm saying it was a rallying cry.
Game, Codester, Saint Nick, and Bidding War of 2024.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool line. The Bidding War of 2024.
So we haven't completely dropped that. You know what I mean?
No.
It's still going to be there, but it is what it is.
If you're going to ask me, that's a work.
Oh, for sure. I think at this point it's got to be.
I think it's interesting, since it is a work, that like he wouldn't go out there and say Game, Codester, Saint Nick, and, you know, all that WWE stuff.
Right.
Without Tony's okay.
Who knows what the business side of it is, you know? I mean, I don't know if he's re-signed, but I think, you know, it's pretty clear, and I think Tony Khan has probably made it clear to him, since this has all happened, that, like, you are going to be, like, one of our guys. Like, you know, this is happening, so...
He's the, not next world champ, but the next world champ.
Maybe. We'll see how this tournament plays out. Big Vito T, my man.
MJF leaves, and then we have just another couple minutes of pure, unadulterated greatness.
Moxley cuts a promo. And
that's the same thing.
Right. This will forever be known as the basketball promo. Because it was full of, you know, it's the fourth quarter. I want to take the last shot. You know, it was the John Moxley, Kobe Bryant inspired promo, or Steph Curry, or Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Take your pick.
Embarrassed.
Yeah, he kind of continued the attitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of continued the sentiment, and, you know, Moxley would have been a guy to come out and have the rally cry too, but
yeah, it was interesting how it was like a 1-2 punch. You got MJF, and then you got the Moxley, so it was like him laying the seeds,
right?
And then it was like, you know, it's just like, you know,
Moxley came in and threw the fertilizer on.
It was a good touch. It was really good how Tony put it together. Both those guys did an amazing job on promos and did exactly what we needed to address what happened. I think what they did addressed what happened perfectly.
Well, it's weird because, you know, there's, you know, I don't know. They addressed it without addressing it.
Mox even blamed him for ruining his vacation.
Right. Yeah, him and I think it was him and Danielson were supposed to have the week off, and here they are drugged
No,
into
him
this
and
tournament.
Jericho.
Oh, okay, it was Jericho. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, speaking of people having time off, one more thing before I forget. Okay, another thing that points a huge piece of evidence that points to work in this, as far as I'm concerned. All right, ultimately a work. You remember what one of the big stories was just coming out like a couple weeks ago, and it was kind of a big story, but no one really talked about it too much, right? If
What's
you
that?
remember a couple weeks ago, this whole deal with Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
Well, they had a backstage fight, and Kingston got suspended without anyone. You know what I mean? They didn't make any. It was just like a quiet suspension, right?
Yeah, Kingston threw the first punch because Sammy said something about him like being fat or something like that.
So
Or something.
that sets a
Yeah.
precedent, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I just think it's kind of convenient. You know what I mean? It's either convenient or not convenient for them that just happened. So like this situation should basically be dealt with in the same way, right? I mean,
Yeah, you gotta think that if Kingston and Sammy were champions, they would have been stripped, I guess.
right, exactly. But you know, so that's just kind of what I'm thinking. It was either a really convenient precedent or completely by accident. I just think it's kind of interesting that same kind of situation happened with different talent just a couple weeks ago. But yet this is a way bigger story, of course, because it involves the champion.
Either that or it says something about AEW.
Hopefully not. You know, I really
Hopefully
would love
not.
to think that it's like, you know, it still is all friends wrestling,
Yeah.
you know, but who knows? But that's
Malachi just left.
right. He's on some kind of conditional release is what I read.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of which, speaking of trios, that trios is no more. The House of Black, at least for now, reportedly. But now we have these trios titles up for grabs, and they start the show with Death Triangle and Best Friends. Death Triangle goes over. Your thoughts?
Man. Well, um, it was a good match. I enjoyed the match a
It was
lot.
good.
Uh I liked I always like when I see Danhausen on my TV.
It was nice. He got out there with them. Absolutely.
Yeah, he caught a
He was apparently on the pre-show on Sunday. I missed that match.
I
Apparently,
didn't see that.
I didn't know the pre-show was an hour. I turned it on at 4:30, and it was already halfway over. Apparently,
Oh, see, I guess I think I watched the pre-show, but I don't remember Danhausen. That's
yeah.
see, I guess
See,
I'll have to go back and watch it. Stupid CM Punk.
very nice,
Ah,
very evil.
anyway,
Great
um,
match. I didn't really buy that Best Friends is going to win though, but
no,
that's
they
still
did a
they still did
they did
great.
the same spot that Matt did during the pay-per-view during their trios match, where they all fought up to the stage, and then Matt did that front flip into the pile of people.
Oh
They
yeah,
did
yeah,
that
yeah.
in this match too,
Hmm.
but they did it during Pip in this match.
Can do your same spots.
Yeah. Uh, I put a couple notes here when Penta was laying in the corner or sitting down in the corner. Chucky T grabbed Phoenix and like threw him, and it looked like Phoenix's head went straight into like Penta's neck, like the top
Ooh,
of
yeah,
his
yeah,
head
yeah.
went straight into his neck. That was ugly. Um, and then there was a double thrust kick to Code Red. Did you see that? That was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Possible larynx injury there.
Yeah, I think it was Pac and Penta hit the thrust kicks, and then I think Phoenix did the code red on whoever it was. And then the other thing I wanted to point out was the Destroyers, the triple
Ooh, yeah.
destroyers. I thought those were amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the match went 12:54, so almost 13 minutes.
Nice opener. We get new trios champions. Where do they go from here, Vito? Is there anyone we have lined up in particular? You know, there's more. Not the Dark Order. We know that.
No. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second, actually. Another trio's like the next to challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you know, now that we've had to reset this division, we got Death Triangle. You know, I would say get them in the House of Black together again, but they're no more, so.
No, the House of Black needs a new landlord.
Right. You got FTR Wardlow, possibly, I guess.
There's too many champions there.
Right, yeah, too many belts.
Someone who's not champions. I think, man, I don't even know.
Right?
If I had to choose, United Empire would be cool.
Ooh, yeah. Well,
I mean,
supposedly
they're not part of AEW, but they were in the.
Supposedly Ospreay's not coming back for a while. But that's just, I don't know, that's just what I read, but I don't know if that's true or not.
He's an asshole. But Death Triangle versus United Empire would be pretty cool.
Well, maybe we'll get a chance for some folks to kind of come up and step up.
If that's not the case, then I'll watch what's Davari's new teams called?
Oh yeah,
called? The Dude Busters.
The Truth Busters.
Truth Busters.
Yeah.
That's it.
Whatever they are.
Those guys would be cool. That little Brock Lesnar guy that's in that group. Those guys.
You know,
those guys against Death Triangle.
Kind of neat. You know, it kind of leaves this trios division wide open. For some people to come in and get some stuff done. Next segment, Andrade continues to pursue 10.
Okay, see? Now it's known. He's not trying to buy the whole Dark Order. He's just trying to get 10.
This promo was a lot clearer than the last one, let me tell you.
I'm 100% behind this. It took me a while to think about this today, but 10 takes off the mask, okay?
Okay.
Get behind this. Preston Vance changes up his look, becomes tough guy Preston Vance, muscle, you know, like old school Wardlow.
Okay.
Original muscle for MJF Wardlow. And I think that'd be awesome. Just be like beast. Like a Brian Cage type beast for Preston Vance. He can do it. He's got the body for it.
Well, then they have a trio.
Yep.
You know.
Boom. There you go. Andrade, Rouge, and Preston Vance, not 10. Preston Vance.
They could have some good matches with the DT. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we then get a video recap of the women's title match that Toni Storm wins. They follow up the dissension that happened between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. We could see this coming a mile away, right?
Yeah, not a mile away. Months ago. This is a long time coming. This should have happened a long time ago. I'm glad it paid off this way, though, and I'm glad it's over.
Well, there you go. And then we get Toni Storm over Penelope Ford. Penelope was good here. I want to see more of her, actually.
Really good.
Yeah.
She's gotten a lot better. These two actually look good together. They got good chemistry. Penelope came down with Boxhead.
Yeah,
her husband.
So they're married.
They're married. He went to, he didn't stay outside. He went and sat down in his spot in the audience.
I really loved her heat spots, man. I thought she was really good. I think she could dig a little bit more into like her facials.
Yeah.
Because like she could just like throw up some evil facials, I think, and like really make her heat spots even more memorable. Right.
She's a happy person.
Right. Gotta get a little more evil.
She's ended up smiling a lot.
Right.
So that's the problem she has. That was a botched ending. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you about that. Tony's comeback completely falls flat, I thought. And then the finish, what the hell happened? She botched her move? What was the deal there?
So they were saying it was a reverse brainbuster, I guess. And it turned
looked
into
like a
this
messed up brainbuster is what it looked like.
It turned out to be like some weird DDT. And then it was a 3 count. Penelope didn't kick out. And then like Tony rolled over and she's like, 3? Okay. And I was like, yeah, because her finisher is not a weird DDT. It's like a pile driver thing, isn't it? Storm Zero or whatever it's called.
Right. And then you got, like, a DDT variation, maybe a brainbuster variation. Also,
it was weird.
Suplex variation, possibly. But yeah, it could have been any one of those things. It looked either she messed it up or Penelope took it wrong. I don't know. Don't know what happened, but it did not look well, is all I know.
Yeah.
So Toni Storm as the new women's champion. Where do we go from here?
That went 5:47. That match did
5:47. All right. Who you see her working with at the next pay-per-view? Are we building to hate her, or what do you think?
I hope so. You hear how over she was at All Out?
Well, but then we have a face versus face match, though, right? I don't know if that really matters or if that's something they really think about, but because I guess she turned face, right? In this whole, but not really, because like they split, but I don't know.
Toni Storm can turn. She's not
turn her, maybe. Yeah, could work, I guess.
I mean, she's not super. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. She's not a super face,
right?
I mean, she's wrestled with Thunder Rosa on a face tag team,
right?
But and Toni Storm plays a great heel. She's got a perfect bitch attitude.
Fair enough. I guess they could get you there. Anything else on that one, Vito, before we move on?
Just that they called it an eliminator match, and I don't like that. That's my 2 cents.
So if the champion loses, they have to defend the belt against them.
Yeah, at a later date. I'm not a fan of that.
It's a thing.
Give 2 people a shot at a number 1 contenders match, then do that.
It's weird that they do that, but then they don't do automatic rematches, like, really at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just don't like them saying this is an eliminator match. It's just weird.
I think I was reading, like, the whole Punk thing is, like, the only time that a champion has gotten a rematch, really, in the AEW history. I'm not positive on that. The short 3 years or whatever it is, they haven't done that where they did an immediate rematch.
I like it better when, like, if they were to pull off a upset win and be like, oh my God, they just pulled a win over the champion. That's gotta win. That's gotta earn them a chance at the title in the future. I like that type of thing. Right. Not like, hey, this is a match. You could win the title shot. I'm not a fan of the eliminator.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents.
You're not supposed to expect it, really.
Yeah. And it was a less than 6-minute match that, I mean, Penelope whooped her a lot of the time, but good match, though.
If they were going to make it an eliminator match and make a big deal out of it, they should have let Penelope win, and then we could have got another match out of it, because it's not like there's a really deep division, you know what I mean? They're going to have to... They're going to have to use these girls, and Penelope should get regular work, I hope.
This next segment sucked.
Well, we got the Jazz B team and then
No,
Hook.
the
No,
first one. There was one before that.
I missed it. What was that? How did I
The
not write this
Acclaimed.
down? No, that was after that.
What? The Acclaimed was before Jazz. That's what my notes say.
Oh no. The the B team. This is a small vignette with Hook and the Bronson
Oh
dude.
shit! I missed that.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, what happened there? Oh shit!
Well, it was a continuation of the B team and the Hook. You know, apparently this guy
Oh,
interfered in their match on the pre-show,
all
I
right.
guess. So now it's going to be like a tag team thing, from what I gather.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
yes, I'm glad you brought the Acclaim thing up, because what the hell was this, Vito? Why did they even come out? There was no
I
match.
don't know. I don't know. I was very upset at that.
Acclaim come
That was
out.
for the Twitter fans, dude.
Well, what? This was terrible. This was terrible all the way around. I'm sorry.
Here's what happened. All day long on Twitter, everyone's like, "Oh, what's Max Caster gonna rap about tonight? He's got so much to say." Everyone, all day long on Twitter was like, "Oh, what's he gonna say? He's gonna be fired for it. Whatever he's gonna say, he's gonna be suspended."
Right.
Right? All day
Yeah.
long.
Huh.
Dizzy comes out. Listen. Whose house?
Yeah. Well,
My first note right here says Swerve sucks.
Well, I guess that explains a lot, because this is how they got out of all that, apparently. You know what I mean? This is how they get out of Max having to do the rap.
Yeah.
Swerve cuts him off, and he gets so much heat for doing that, he gets an a-hole chant from the crowd, which, like, last I knew of, like, they were doing a tweener thing, and he wasn't like full on heel, but you know, people were mad that he interrupted the rap. He doesn't really get to say anything. He gets cut off by Daddy Ass, and they just verbally castrate him, basically. I thought it made Swerve look kind of dumb. I don't know. What do you think?
Completely dumb.
Yeah.
It seemed that the pay-per-view they were doing a thing where like they were kind of pushing Swerve towards a heel spot. Good idea. And then Keith Lee in like the face position, you know, towards like a soft split.
Right. From an optic standpoint, they're kind of doing that, I think, with them being separate here. Keith Lee not being with them.
At the scrum, it got way worse. At the scrum, they were way off. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. They were like not even a tag team barely, because their answers were way different. The way they were acting was completely different. And then there was the whole thing where the reporter asked Tony, like, the crowd was completely behind the Acclaim. Did you think that you were going to call an audible? And Swerve's like, what? What are you talking about? You know, I'm sitting here with a champion on my shoulder, right? You asking this guy right here next to me.
You were telling me about that.
If at any time during the match did he think about taking this title off my shoulder? Are you kidding? Like, I thought it was so rude of that reporter to ask that. But
yeah, well, especially with Swerve right there. I mean, come on, but
then Tony says, you know, how about I make a match? You know, there was such a great match, there should be a rematch. And Swerve's like, what? So you can take our titles then? Was this a later audible? He's like, you guys want to give the champ, you know, give them their champions, basically.
Right.
And then sure shit, tonight they announced that, was it next week that they get the title shots?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So, and this happened. This happens at the scrum, and it's just fine.
Yeah. Next week, the Acclaimed win the tag titles, guaranteed, 100%.
Book your bets right now.
Swerve quits the company.
No,
AEW is struggling, man.
I think him and Keith Lee kind of, have tried. It was an interesting mix, but I think it's already kind of run its course. I think Swerve is a much better singles wrestler.
Oh, agreed.
Just with the way that his spots are just kind of designed to draw so much attention to himself. He doesn't really need someone to be like a dance partner with, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I like him in a singles role. I think he should kick Keith Lee in the head right before they lose the match and walk away from Keith Lee. That's how they lose the belts. I think that'd be cool.
That'll be good.
Then just see a bunch of matches. Oh, this ain't WWE. I mean, a really good match between Swerve and Keith Lee.
One match
to rule them all.
We come back to a backstage promo with Jericho and Sammy and the girls, and
it's the Jazz starting lineup.
Right, the front line, the
front line,
the sex gods.
Yeah, and Anna JAS.
He basically said he's found the fountain of youth, and he put himself over, sold the tournament for the title. He flubbed a couple lines, but
flubbed.
It's Jericho.
He flubbed.
He said something about a championship celebration, and it was like, what? And then he's like, my celebration right afterwards.
He also said that he's looking forward to wrestling Brian Danielson for the in the tournament, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah.
Oh, so he gave it away?
Yeah, he gave it away.
Catch that.
I was like, wait a minute, did I miss a match? Because then I was like, I looked back at my note and I was like, he's facing Hangman tonight. You can't just say you're going to wrestle Brian Danielson. And then
I gotta go back and see that.
I turned to Laura and I go, I bet you Brian Danielson wins this match because Jericho already said he's going to wrestle him.
Ah, man, that's not good.
Hangman. Yeah, I was like,
good. Well, Jericho's got a lot on his mind. He's supposed to be on vacation right now, In the words of Dante Hicks, my ancestor, he's not even supposed to be there today.
Yeah. Not even supposed to be here today.
Wardlow squashed Tony Nese. He cut the promo afterwards saying it's Wardlow's world.
Hold on a second. You know how they do box scores and play-by-play in football?
Right.
I got the play-by-play.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
I wrote down every move that was done in this match.
Go for it. Fire them off.
Titty jiggle, headbutt, lariat, 3 power bombs, step on him to pin. 1 minute and 21 seconds. It was good.
Any match is a good match when you start it with the titty jiggle, the Lex Luger.
I'm telling you, man.
The Lex Luger titty jiggle.
Nope. Not a self titty jiggle. Tony Nese titty jiggled Wardlow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I missed that, I guess.
Yeah, it was a against titty jiggle. It was weird.
Sounds like Wardlow might need a lawyer after that one.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see Wardlow face at the pay-per-view? Who do you think we should build up to that match? Who's a good heel
Jungle
for him
Boy
to face? Jungle Boy. Okay. All right.
I think Jungle Boy have a little thing with Luchasaurus. He rise above Luchasaurus, and then Jungle Boy versus Wardlow. I think that'd be awesome.
Good God. We'll get to Jungle Boy here in a second.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
Brian Danielson over Adam Page. This was an awesome match, Vito. What did you think of this one?
Those two have chemistry. I can watch them wrestle every day for the rest of my life.
Right?
They're amazing. Man. 23 minutes, 8 seconds of pure greatness.
Yeah.
I noticed that Brian was kicking one of the arms when he was doing the yes kicks instead of the chest. because he
Okay.
had moved over. I'm not sure why. He wasn't really working on an arm. Um,
Okay.
that I realized. I mean,
Maybe
unless he's
Paige is
doing the
having
arm
rib
trap.
issues or something.
I don't know.
He was
It's
taking it
weird.
easy on him.
Um, I thought it was cool that when he was doing the crossface, he was holding Hangman's nose before he put on the whole crossface. Thought that
Right.
was hilarious. Uh, the other thing I want to say is I've gone on record and said that Hangman's one of my top five. Um, and I think that he should make the Deadeye his finish. I think the buckshot should. I think the buckshot, as much as I love it, should be like a once in a while thing, like a pay per view only bust out of nowhere move. I don't think it should be an every match finish because it turns out to be awkward sometimes and it's hard to get on, and when it is, it doesn't always look right. It's just a struggle for Hangman.
I can see that, but I don't know if the dead eye is what I would want. I think you should come up with something else. I don't really care for that move for some reason.
No, not a fan of the Deadeye.
You know, it's just like a weird looking, like,
Pile driver.
it's a weird looking tombstone.
Yeah.
It's weird looking. It just doesn't even look, you know what I mean?
It's the ass pile driver.
I can't suspend my disbelief on it. I don't know. But yeah, this was great. Good stuff. I was hoping Paige would win, to be honest. TBH.
Yeah.
But apparently
me too,
Jericho spoiled that before, you know what I mean?
I already knew who was gonna win. Stupid Jericho. It was a roll up.
Moon Goose.
The most devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
Moon Goose McQueen. Will we get a Jungle Boy vignette about his feud with Christian Cage?
Okay.
Vito, what is the freaking deal with this feud, man? I am so
now
tired
I'm even
of it.
more mad.
So
now
tired.
I'm even more mad. Okay. I expressed to you through text messaging. We are text messaging to All Out because outside of this, we're actual friends.
Right.
This isn't a business arrangement.
Right, exactly.
So
By
I told
any
you
means.
when we were watching All Out that that the Jungle Boy thing was the worst part of the pay-per-view. The worst part. I thought that was a crock of shit. Now they say Christian's injured, so that's why they didn't have an actual match.
Okay.
They should have just scrapped it.
Why didn't they just talk? Yeah, exactly.
Scrap it. Sorry, Christian's injured. We're not having the match. We'll do it next pay-per-view when he's all right. Boom, that's it.
Or if we don't want, to upset Jungle Boy or whatever the deal was, let's just have Cage come out, say he's not cleared, and then you could have done the Luchasaurus freaking turn, have him face him.
This is who's gonna wrestle for me instead. Boom, Luchasaurus.
Amen.
Perfect idea.
That would have worked fine.
Instead, they just do a choke slam and then, just beat him up for him. They let him get to his feet, and Christian beats him in like 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, like a minute maybe. It was just a waste of Jungle Boy. And this promo didn't do anything more for him. That's why I want Jungle Boy to get away from the whole Luchasaurus thing.
Right.
And
weird.
I don't know. Something needs to happen with Jungle Boy.
Yes. Weird and thrown together. Why did Luchasaurus turn twice? Why did we need the second heel turn? Why couldn't he have stayed with Christian Cage? I don't understand.
Because Christian got injured.
Okay. All right. So that was an audible then.
That makes sense now. Yep. Now that makes more sense. Christian's injured, so they had to go back. I'm okay with that. But they still did All Out wrong. They still did that right. Jungle Boy thing wrong.
They could have done the situation like we just broke down, but
yeah.
Then we get a Stokely and Company promo.
Stupid.
They beat up a stagehand
for no reason. They were out there for no reason. They beat the stagehand up for no reason.
So apparently they're not going to be officially involved with MJF. They're just kind of like hired guns, I guess. Like,
Is that what you got out of that?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is that's the
I
impression that they're just kind of,
I have no idea.
I guess Stokely was teasing that he was going to say why he helped MJF, and then of course got interrupted. So they beat up the stagehand, so he couldn't tell us. Like they're making us wait for that part. But I guess I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows on this show,
Yeah.
damn it.
Lots of
So we'll see
yeah.
what
The Stokely
happens.
thing I didn't get at all. It wasn't good.
But we're circling the wagons, you know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
we're putting investment into the guys that we believe in and that we think are the
Like you said in the
future.
beginning, this is a reset, kind of.
It is a reset in a
This
way.
is the first Raw after WrestleMania.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, the first Dynamite after All Out with brand new World and Trios champions coming up.
And
So
speaking of reset, I think that this was a message right here as well by Tony Khan, putting this as the main event here tonight, the ROH Pure title match. Garcia over Wheeler Yuta to win the ROH Pure title. I think Tony Khan did this on purpose. Like this was this is our future match. You know what I mean?
First of all, that West Side Gun guy.
Right,
I
never
love
heard
rap
of him.
music. Love hip hop music. That guy, not sure which one it is. Not good. Not good. Not sure if it's a song or the guy. Not good.
I think he was just freestyling, but I couldn't tell you that for sure.
No, he was singing Garcia's
that's his
song,
actual song.
Yeah.
That's his actual thong or his actual song?
Yeah, it's his song, the thong, thong, thong. The thong song.
Cisco would be proud.
Yeah, he would. when I was in high school, I wanted that hair. Anyway, moving on.
Dude, everyone wanted that hair, bro.
What I like about the Pure title? Judges.
Yeah, we got to see Jerry Lynn, bro. Jerry Lynn was in the house.
And BJ Whitmer.
Can't forget about BJ.
And Matt Sydal. But anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Like Matt Sydal's like a pure wrestling, person, but that's fine, whatever.
One time I wanted to go to the judges.
Yes, one of these days.
Got to go to the judges.
Yes. I was going to ask you if you enjoyed these Pure rules, but it sounds like
I do. I do because one problem I did have is they didn't start with the code of honor, and I think that's really important. Because when I first started watching Ring of Honor, I thought that was awesome. That the code of honor, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Right.
That's what made Ring of Honor in the beginning.
For sure.
Couple things I thought were funny. Yuta later in the match, he started hitting those Germans.
Yeah.
You saw that part. Okay, well, he hits those 3 Germans, right? Caprice Coleman says he's got 2 options. He can hold on or he can let go. I'm like, huh.
Oh.
That's some riveting commentary right there.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Are you sure he doesn't have any other options? Like, he could, I don't know, lift them up into the, I don't know. No, his options are let go or keep grabbing. I was like, what in the world are you talking about, Caprice Coleman?
Maybe he could buy a vowel.
Buy a vowel. I was like, dude, that is the weirdest thing ever. That's a weird statement. So after he hits those 3 Germans, Garcia hits 3. Yeah. Yuta hits 2. Garcia hits 2. They go all the way through Suplex Town.
Suplex
Great.
County. Not just the city, the whole county, right?
They suplex all from one side of the county to the other.
Good stuff. You know, I wish the pure thing would be a little bit more pure. Like, I don't want to see any strikes. You know what I mean? I don't know how boring that would be exactly.
I'm different in that way.
Yeah.
The audience was behind Garcia a lot during the match. I mean, it's his hometown Buffalo, but
Right.
I like that Yuta used one of his 3 rope breaks and used his only punch. He's in the BCC.
Be strategic about the punch you use, right? So that's kind of a cool element.
I've been watching these pure matches. I've watched them all. I don't think a punch has been used. I could be wrong, but this might be the first time a punch was used. I'll have to go back and watch them, but and that Dragon Tamer is a cool move.
Maybe they could do a thing where they have like a rounds kind of a deal. Didn't Impact do that like a few years back? Like,
I don't know.
They did like rounds. You know, maybe the first.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe the first round can be all grappling, and then the second round, you know, you can start striking. You know, or something like that. I don't know. Let's just, you know, maybe change it up just a little bit, make it a little more of a thing. You know,
what do you think about the Dragon Tamer?
Is it
finished?
Is it better than the Lion Tamer?
Well, it's like a sharpshooter, but he leans all the way back on it, like he's laying down, but he just calls it the Dragon Tamer.
Well, he's really into this dragon thing.
Yeah, because he beat Bryan Danielson.
Right.
And I keep doing that.
And he's making this whole gimmick off of that, which, you know, we've talked about that before.
Yeah. This match went 15:51, so just under 16 minutes.
Speaking of the American Dragon, I kind of glanced over this on their match earlier, but did he or did he not? And this, you know, he comes out at the end of this match and does a thing here as well. He puts the belt on him. He seemed very focused tonight. This was not like smiling, I'm having a good time. Bryan Danielson, he was like, I'm gonna be, you know, this is wrestling, this is serious stuff, you know what I mean? He also sold the mood of the situation without
there was a mood.
Yeah, there was a mood, wasn't there?
There was a mood.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of
not a lot of grandstanding. No one was no one was very, very happy.
Not even Orange Cassidy did a lot of funny stuff.
Right.
You know.
That's life, you know what I mean? They're just literally everyone's just like, we're going to work.
Yeah.
We're going to work whether we want to or not. We're freaking
and that's
going.
Your fault, Phil.
Right. We blame you, Phil.
You did it, Phil.
Couple more things here, Vito, my man. You know what I want to see make a comeback?
What's that?
Long, multiple promo sequences like old school ECW. Do you remember those? Like, you can go watch, you know, some of them on the what? Uh-oh, you froze out on me. What happened? I'm still alive. You're not. My connection is unstable. Oh no. I've apparently lost the Vito man. Let's do a quick pause and see if we can get him back on.
All right.
But yes, Vito, long promo sequences like there used to be in ECW, you know, where you have, you know, not like these vignettes, especially I think AEW could do it well. Not just put these little interviews in the middle of the show, save them all for like the end or like the middle of the show and just kind of clip back and forth to them. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It was like they would play the Pulp Fiction music, and it would just like go to like a bunch of random like insert promos. You know, first it'd be like Tommy Dreamer, then it'd be like, you know, Sandman, then it'd be like Rob Van Dam, and then it'd go back to Sandman, and then like, you know, then to like Just Incredible or what, you know, just who, it would just like go all over the place.
Yeah.
I love that. I think they need to do that. Tournament predictions. Do we see the Jazz or BCC go against each other in the final round? And did you read the spoilers for Rampage?
I did not.
Okay. Would you like to hear them?
No.
Okay. Well, that kind of ruins my last segment here, because I was gonna tell you who won and we were gonna predict it. But you make your predictions.
I feel like well, you know who I want.
We already have one match. We have Danielson and Jericho.
I mean, let's just make him a 3-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
Why not? Let's do it.
So
3 times.
So it doesn't really matter to you who wins.
Nope.
With Darby, Sammy, you want Moxley. Moxley goes to the final and faces. Does he have to face his group member, or does he face Jericho? Regal said something interesting during the main event, how he said that he wanted Garcia in the BCC, but, you know, Yuta's got to have an opponent, you know, a great opponent to face.
Yeah.
And that, you know, if he would have been in the BCC, he wouldn't have been able to, you know, wrestle him. And I just thought, well, that's kind of an interesting thing to say. Maybe the BCC has to fight each other in the final.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'd like to see, as much as I'd like to see Mox and Jericho instead of Mox and Bryan Danielson, because I don't like when homies fight each other.
I don't like it when the homies fight each other, bro.
I don't want to see Bryan Danielson lose to Jericho again. That'd break my heart.
Okay.
That'd break my heart. So, no, I can't do that.
You know, your pick is Moxley. I think, you know, I don't know. I want to see some new blood. So Danielson, I guess, would be my pick.
Yeah.
We'll see how it unfolds, you know. But I think Danielson has a renewed sense of business.
You know, I don't hate Danielson versus MJF.
See, there you go. That's as well. Okay, so this tournament final is in Long Island. This Arthur Ashe Stadium is in, right? This is in MGF's hometown, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
you can double check that if you want, but I'm pretty sure I heard that. So,
all right.
Maybe it becomes a 3-way. Maybe he said in his promo that he can have the match whenever he wants.
Yep.
So
it's triple threat.
Right? How far in advance does he have to let people know, though? That's kind of the question. Can he just cash it in like the Money in the Bank briefcase? Does he have to let Tony Khan at least know a day ahead of time? What is the rule? We don't know.
I would like to not hear him talk about WWE so much, though. It was cool tonight.
Yeah. I don't think we'll hear much of that going forward, no.
Yeah. I liked it tonight, but I don't want to keep hearing it.
But it did kind of subtly sell what was going on. Now, saying if this isn't work, which I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, this whole situation. It's also something interesting. The fact that he can go out there and say that stuff and it not anger anybody. I guess it just, it's really nothing personal when it comes to that. That's something between him and Tony, but.
Yeah.
I don't know, Vito. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out next week and going forward. And we're on the long road, the long march to, well, I mean, we have a couple weeks till this big Dynamite, this big stadium show, but then long march to, what is it, Full Gear?
Revolution. Oh, no, Full Gear. Yeah. Full Gear. You're right.
Which will be in November, I guess.
Yeah.
I think November, yeah.
So what's your rating? What are we doing?
Woo! You know, I've been thinking about this. I actually thought it was a very, very good show, despite the mood, despite some of the rough patches, like, you know, the Jericho flub and the women's match.
Knowing that Brian was going to win didn't ruin it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It was still a great match.
Every match was good. Even the titty jiggle headbutt lariat powerbomb 3 times step pin.
And the girls were good, even if they botched the finish, it was still good.
Yeah, still good.
And also, I loved the fact that it didn't seem like there was so much stuff. It seemed like they scaled it back a lot. There wasn't as much crap to jam in. Not that it's crap, but you know what I mean. So I really loved that.
And
bro, this is a 4.
And the scrum stuff was handled nice. And the other thing is the scrum stuff was handled, and it was handled tastefully.
I mean, what else can you do, right? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do. I was gonna do 4 or 5. So
there we go.
I usually we both have do a little bit over than you, so that's good.
We both have it very highly rated.
And the only thing that I would say it was damn near perfect, but I did not like the swerve thing, or the Stokely thing, or the Jungle Boy thing. Other than that, every single match was just great.
The matches
I'm not saying they were 5 stars, but they were all really good matches.
I love the simplicity of it. I love that I feel like I can remember the whole show without even taking notes. I just love feeling like that. We'll kind of see if that trend continues going forward. But yeah, final thoughts, Vito.
It can only go up from here.
Good luck to everyone.
Good luck. Hey, good luck, Tony Khan. I doubt you'll ever hear this unless someone points it out to you. But hey, good luck, buddy. We're rooting for you here.
Oh no, he's listening, pal. Planet. He's listening.
Pro Wrestling Planet has got your back.
pwplanet.com. Check it out. Check out the other episodes. We will be back sometime, hopefully next week. Until next time, this has been Big Vito T, your excellent friend, the brand, Pro Wrestling Planet Podcast, AEW Dynamite Recap. Vito, give me some.
Too sweetest, bros.
Woo! Too sweetest. Don't scissor me. Don't scissor me, Daddy.
No scissors. No scissors.